In the face of mounting global challenges and the growing uncertainty of our times, a prophetic message of peace emerges from Medjugorje, one that has captivated the hearts of millions, including Pope Francis. In 2024, Pope Francis shared a heartfelt and urgent plea to the Blessed Virgin Mary of Medjugorje, calling for divine intervention during these troubled times. His words resonated deeply with the faithful, reminding us all of the pressing need for peace, reconciliation, and the guiding wisdom of God in navigating the turmoil of the modern world. Pope Francis, in his emotionally charged message, opens by invoking the Blessed Virgin Mary, seeking her intercession for our world in crisis. He reflects on his own moments of personal anguish, drawing parallels between his struggles and the widespread suffering experienced by people across the globe. The Pope recognizes Mary as a constant source of strength and hope, especially in the darkest of times, and calls upon her to lead us toward a path of peace. The message is a powerful reminder of the urgency of our current situation. Pope Francis emphasizes that we are at a critical juncture in history where the need for peace has never been greater. The world is increasingly divided, and our individual and collective actions are crucial in fostering a climate of fraternity, justice, and unity. The Pope stresses the importance of returning to God's wisdom, acknowledging that only through divine guidance can we overcome the challenges we face. At the heart of the message is a call to prayer and penance. Pope Francis urges the faithful to turn to these sacred practices, not as mere rituals, but as powerful tools for spiritual renewal and divine intervention. Through prayer, especially the Holy Rosary and acts of penance, we can find clarity and strength to address the complexities of the world's issues, from social injustice to environmental degradation and political unrest. Prayer and penance, Pope Francis believes, are the keys to unlocking the peace that God promises to those who seek Him. In an extraordinary act of devotion, Pope Francis consecrates the world and all its inhabitants to the Blessed Virgin Mary. This consecration is more than just a symbolic gesture. It is an invitation to each of us to entrust our lives and the future of humanity into Mary's loving hands. Pope Francis asks the Virgin Mary to inspire us with the virtues of peace and reconciliation, guiding us to build bridges of understanding, compassion, and solidarity. His consecration reflects a profound faith that, through Mary's intercession, we will find the strength to overcome division and heal the wounds that separate us from one another. Mary's message from Medjugorje is not just a historical or religious account, it is an urgent call to action. The world, as Pope Francis points out, is in desperate need of divine intervention, and the time for action is now. Mary's call to peace is a reminder that we, as individuals and as a collective, are part of something much greater, God's divine plan. By embracing prayer, penance, and acts of charity, we can each contribute to the transformation of our world. As we embrace the prophecy of peace and the urgent messages coming from Medjugorje, we are reminded of the power of unity. The Rosary becomes a powerful weapon against the forces of division, bringing us closer to God and to one another. Fasting, too, becomes an act of spiritual discipline that prepares us to receive God's grace and to act as agents of peace in our homes and communities. In this pivotal moment in history, we must all heed the call to embrace faith with renewed fervor. The Virgin Mary, as a loving mother, promises to intercede on our behalf, offering divine protection and guidance in the midst of our trials. Through her intercession, we find the strength to be living witnesses of Christ's love, to practice charity, to seek reconciliation, and to be instruments of peace. As Pope Francis has so eloquently put it, the world needs our prayers, our commitment, and our willingness to be instruments of God's peace. The urgent message from Medjugorje is one of hope and faith, reminding us that despite the challenges we face, the power of prayer and devotion can lead us to a future of unity and divine peace. May this powerful message from Pope Francis inspire us all to act with purpose and devotion, trusting that the intercession of the Virgin Mary will guide us toward a future filled with hope, peace, and divine love. Let us unite in prayer, support one another, and walk together on the path that leads to true reconciliation and lasting peace. In our world filled with uncertainty and division, we turn to the maternal protection and wisdom of the Virgin Mary, seeking her guidance as we navigate the complexities of our times. We entrust our hopes and aspirations to her, knowing that as a loving mother, she will lead us through turbulent moments, offering us the strength and clarity needed to face the challenges ahead. Pope Francis calls on us to reflect deeply on our personal responsibility in fostering peace and fraternity. His message is clear: faith, prayer, and compassion must be at the core of our daily lives. This is not a passive reflection, but a call to action. We are invited to examine our lives and see how we can be the change we wish to see in the world, actively contributing to a more peaceful and just society. Each small action, each moment of kindness, brings us closer to creating a world built on love and understanding. A powerful question arises from this reflection. What real impact do spiritual leaders like Pope Francis have in resolving conflicts and promoting peace? Is their influence symbolic, or do their actions truly shape global conversations about justice and peace? This question challenges us to think beyond the surface, inviting us to understand the deep, transformative role that spiritual leaders play in influencing the course of history. Their guidance often sparks movements of change, calling us to a higher moral standard and to greater unity. To truly live by the teachings of Pope Francis, we must make these principles tangible in our everyday lives. Here are some practical steps to embody peace and fraternity. Prayer. Set aside time daily for prayer, meditation, or communal worship. Prayer is a transformative practice that helps us cultivate inner peace and connect with divine wisdom, aligning our hearts with God's will. Fraternity. Embrace respect and friendship with people from all walks of life. Recognize the inherent dignity of each individual and work towards overcoming divisions that perpetuate conflict. Fighting against hatred. Stand against hatred, racism, discrimination, and injustice in all their forms. Let your voice be one of compassion and advocacy for social justice, promoting equality and human rights. Mercy. Show empathy and compassion to those who suffer. Reach out to those in need, both materially and emotionally, and find ways to support them through acts of kindness and love. Education. Educate yourself on global issues such as poverty, hunger, climate change, and conflicts. Seek knowledge that empowers you to make informed decisions and take meaningful action. Towards solutions. Supporting peace. Strive for peace within your family, community, and the world. Engage in interreligious and intercultural dialogue, and support organizations dedicated to reconciliation and peace building. Sustainability. Adopt eco-friendly practices to protect the environment. Reduce your consumption, recycle, and minimize your carbon footprint to help preserve the planet for future generations. Building bridges. Promote dialogue and mutual understanding, breaking down barriers that divide us. Work towards building relationships based on respect, tolerance, and cooperation. By integrating these actions into our daily lives, we can embody the vision of peace and fraternity Pope Francis calls for, allowing the values of love, compassion, and justice to shape our world. With the Virgin Mary as our guide and the teachings of Pope Francis as our compass, we are empowered to become agents of change, transforming our communities and the world into a place of healing, unity, and hope. Be a peacemaker in your community. Embrace Pope Francis' vision for a better world. Welcome back to our channel. Today, we reflect on the profound call for peace and unity put forth by Pope Francis. As we explore his message, we invite you to join us on this journey of reflection, action, and transformation. Be sure to subscribe and stay connected with us for more insights on how to live a life aligned with compassion, justice, and peace. Pope Francis has consistently called for a culture of peace, urging each of us to become active peacemakers within our communities and across the world. His teachings emphasize the importance of fostering relationships based on love, solidarity, and justice, and he challenges us to create a ripple effect of positive change that transcends religious, political, and cultural boundaries. One of the most powerful aspects of Pope Francis' message is his call to action for peace education, particularly for the younger generations. By teaching children the values of peace, love, and empathy, we can cultivate a future where these principles are embedded in society. Pope Francis believes that when we prioritize these values within our families and communities, we lay the foundation for a lasting culture of peace. It's not just about avoiding conflict, but about nurturing the human spirit with the principles that elevate humanity to higher standards of understanding and cooperation. In our modern world, where division and strife seem ever present, the question arises: can we achieve lasting peace by embracing Pope Francis' principles of faith, prayer, and compassion? This is a critical question that invites us to examine our own role in contributing to peace. The complexities of the world may seem daunting, but Pope Francis invites us to look beyond our differences and commit to being instruments of peace in our everyday lives. His message asks us to reach out in understanding, to build bridges instead of walls, and to fight against hatred with love and mercy. As we look to the future, we anticipate the next great call from Pope Francis. Will it come through a prophetic message, a new encyclical, or a significant event that shapes our path to peace and fraternity? Whatever form it takes, we must be prepared to respond with open hearts and a readiness to act in accordance with his guidance. His teachings are not passive. They demand that we take action, not only in our own lives, but also in the broader world. So, how can we practically apply Pope Francis' message in our own lives? It starts with small but powerful steps: praying for peace, standing up against injustice, cultivating fraternity, and committing to the global community as responsible citizens. Let us engage with the values of compassion and solidarity, not just as abstract ideals, but as tangible actions that shape our daily interactions. Support peace initiatives, educate ourselves on global issues, and take responsibility for making the world a better place. By aligning ourselves with the Pope's vision, we can be part of the transformation that the world so desperately needs. In conclusion, Pope Francis invites us all to take concrete steps towards building a better, more just world. He urges us to embrace hope and unity, to pray and to act. The future of peace depends on the choices we make today. Let us commit to being instruments of peace, building a world where compassion, understanding, and mutual respect reign. Thank you for watching until the end. What are your thoughts on this important topic? Please leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button to receive notifications of our upcoming videos.